Hey guys, I hope you have had a wonderful week. Hey, we couldn't be there with you this week, but we hope everything is going to go great and you have a wonderful week. So today we're going to switch something up. We're actually just going to read a story to you. And this is a story that we have not talked about in Sunday school and children's church in a while. So we thought it'd be a good refresher to remember this story. It's Jonah and the whale. Jonah was one of God's faithful servants. He lived a simple life in a quiet village. He prayed to God and followed all of God's commandments. One day, God chose Jonah for a very special task. God wanted Jonah to take a journey to a nearby city, the city called Nineveh. He turned to sin that had turned to sin and violence. The people in Nineveh have forgotten me, God said. Go to that city, Jonah, and bring the people my word. Jonah had heard many frightful stories about the city of Nineveh. It was a terrible place. People were sinful there. They were often mean to each other, and they were always mean to strangers. So there's Jonah talking to God. Jonah was afraid. He did not want to go to Nineveh. In his fear, Jonah thought only of saving himself. He did not think of God's wishes. He ran away from God instead. Jonah thought he could hide from God in a faraway place. In a seaport, he found a boat that was about to leave for a distant island. He paid his fare and climbed aboard the boat. The ship sailed, and Jonah went below the deck. There he fell asleep. He slept until a great storm rose from the sea. What is happening? Jonah asked the passenger. A terrible storm came upon us suddenly. The passenger replied, We are in serious danger. The passengers huddled together inside the boat. They prayed to many different gods to save them. Jonah saw the fear in their faces, but he did not pray. He knew that God had sent the storm, and he knew he was a fool to think he could hide from God. Jonah said, The storm is meant for me. I ran away from God. Throw me into the waves, and you will be saved. There's him sleeping. The men did as Jonah asked. As soon as he disappeared beneath the waves, the storm stopped. A giant whale came up from the depths of the sea. It swallowed Jonah in one swift gulp. Like the terrible storm, the giant whale was sent by God. Jonah understood that. Jonah sat inside the belly of the whale and waited. It was very dark and damp, but at least he was able to breathe again. Jonah thought for a long time about what had happened. I should have done as God asked, he whispered. Jonah was happy to be alive, but he was trapped inside the whale. He wondered if he would ever be free again. Jonah knew he was not completely alone. God, he understood, was always with him. Jonah asked God to forgive him. I was afraid, Jonah prayed, and I ran away from you. I should have known that you would keep me safe. I know you will keep me safe, God. I trust you more than ever. Jonah spent 3 days and 3 nights inside the whale. There's Jonah going into the whale. He was not afraid. He had faith in God's goodness. In his prayers, Jonah promised to always serve God. Finally, the whale opened his mouth, and Jonah was free. He swam to the shore. God said, Go to Nineveh as I asked, and bring the people my message. This time Jonah obeyed. He went to Nineveh. He warned the people of Nineveh that they could not run away from God. The people listened to his story, and Jonah spread God's message to the people, and they were saved. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.